Wrong way. Hi, Molly. Hi, Jill. Hi, Liz. Hi, Gloria. This is so weird because I've had my tripod thing holding my camera a lot higher than it is now, and it is zoomed in. And today I've got it as low as it'll go, and it's showing my whole desktop. So I I really don't know. I really don't know how or why it's doing that. Hi, Kelly. You know, technology. I'm pretty good with it, but sometimes it befuddles me. All right, guys, it is 6:30 on Tuesday, which means it's time for another episode of Tiger Stamp Club Live, where we make great cards. And I always tell you, I picked out another great card for us to make tonight. Let me quickly go over tonight's announcements. They're exactly the same as last week's. We have a brand new product of the month. It's DSP, and it looks really great. And I'm not sure if mine has come in yet or not. If it is, I haven't processed it. So it may be laying around here somewhere, but it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to use. You can get the product of the month for $5 with a qualifying order. And a qualifying order is any order that is $75 or more. So if you're going to spend that amount, you might as well get the DSP for $5. Here is a reminder that bonus day coupons are now redeemable. We earn them in January and you get to spend them in February. So this is just a reminder, if you earned any bonus day coupons, you need to redeem them before the end of the month. And then also starting the 19th, which is I think Thursday, there is a Lovely Blossoms craft class. And it's based on the Lovely Blossoms suite of products. And if you've already got this in your stash, then this would be a great thing to do. I think you make 9 or so cards. And it's a live class, costs $30. And I go to this class. And if I miss it on Thursday, because I'm not exactly sure what's going on with me on Thursday, they do have recordings that you can just watch the classes after the fact. So anyway, it's a good deal. And I went to the first craft class and I really liked the cards that they made. And then also there is a join offer if you would like to get a starter kit. The starter kit is $99 and you get to choose $125 worth of items from any current catalog, and you get to select the items. And during the month of February, if you get a starter kit, they're going to include this Stampin' Positioner in it for free, and it's like a $49 value. So it's a really good thing. I have mine. It's right here, but I haven't played with it enough. I thought I was going to use it on today's class, but I didn't get that together. Anyway, I've seen some really great ways to use it. So Stay tuned. I'm going to show you all about it. And this is an exclusive join offer. You can only get it by getting the starter kit. So if you're not already a demonstrator, doesn't mean you have to do anything, but get the starter kit. You don't have, there will be nothing else required. All right. That's all the news. That's all the stuff. Let me just say hi to Susan and Anita and Jane. Hi, guys. And thanks for sharing. So remember, during tonight's video, during tonight's live, if you comment, say hi, Manny, or whatever you want to say, then your name is going to go into a drawing to win the card that I make tonight. And if you share tonight's video, you get 2 chances to win the card. So let's take a look at said card. I thought this was a super cute, kind of simple card, but it's really not simple once you get to putting it together. But what I really liked about it is it took this Valentine set that we have called Valentine Kisses, and this is a thinking of you card. There's nothing about this card that screams that is designed for a certain holiday. Anytime that we can show other uses for that, it's just getting more bang for your buck. And I saw this. This was designed by one of my favorite artisan designers, Michaela Titheridge. She lives in the UK. And I just liked everything she did about it. And of course, those bears are cute, cute, cute. And I thought this was a great little card to put together. So we're going to put that together. I'm going to show you how to do that. It is a very fun set. So let's talk about the things we're going to use to make this card. And first and foremost is the Valentine Kisses bundle that I just already talked to you about. So the stamps are a mixture of images and sentiments that may or may not be Valentine oriented. Of course, this one says Happy Valentine's Day. But sending lots of love your way to celebrate this special day. That could be a birthday or a wedding. Giving you a big smooch. Anytime you want to send a kiss to somebody, that could be a holiday. And then these bears are so cute. And we're going to use this little one right here on tonight's card. Oh, and then the corresponding dies that go with it. Then also, we are going to use the Everyday Arches dies. And I've got the ones that we're going to use tonight already prepared. Now, you guys know that layering dies are some of my very favorite dies. And when they retire, sometimes I keep them around because they're just so useful. And I've got these 2 paired together and taped together because we're going to be cutting out a frame with them. And actually, I made a swap. I'm involved in a swap where I swap with 6 other demonstrators. And I like that swap because you only have to make 6 to give away. And that's pretty manageable. Anyway, so while I was making multiples, I taped these together so I wouldn't have to be placing them every single time. Hi, Jen. Thanks for sharing, Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Barbara. All right, so Everyday Arches. And I thought these were on Last Chance, but the dies are apparently staying because it's the stamps that coordinate with it that are on Last Chance. So far, these are still current. When I set this aside for a second. And then we are going to add some texture to our card using this exposed brick 3D folder. And that's mostly it. I do have some DSP involved on this card. The frame and the window slats are made from the Country Woods DSP. And these curtains are from the Cute as a Bug DSP set. And this is Country Woods as well. So I do have a little bit of DSP on here, and then we'll talk about the bling as we go. All right. So we are going to start off with a basic beige card base that is 8.5 by 5.5. It's our standard size. I scored it down the middle on the long side at 4.25. And now I just need to burnish it to get a nice, crisp, clean fold. I'm going to burnish it with my bone folder here. There we go. And then I'm going to open up my little box that has my pieces in it. And I'm going to bring over my inside mat that is 4 by 5.25. And I'm going to glue that to the inside. That's one piece that I can just go ahead and get right out of my way. So I like to go ahead and get that on the inside. Hey, Denise. Oh, you have these, this bundle. It's such a cute set. And like I said in my post, you don't have to stop using it now that Valentine's Day is over. You can continue to use it and make other cards. All right, so that is in there. Right, and I was like, did I make a mistake already? But no, I didn't. All right, so I'm going to set that right there. I'm going to bring over this piece of basic beige cardstock that is going to go on the front of our card. It is the front mat, and it again is 4 by 5.25. But we are going to do a couple of things to it first. So I'm going to bring over my cut and emboss machine. And I'm going to find my everyday arches. And I'm going to take this smallest arch because that's going to be the size of our window. I'm going to take this die, and I think you can see, it looks like you can see pretty well on this. I know, Jennifer, I feel you, that I'm the same way. I look through the catalog and I look at certain stamp sets or whatever, and I say, oh, I don't need that. That's not hitting me. And then I watch somebody else use it, and I'm like, I gotta have it. So I hear what you're saying. All right, we're going to cut out a window opening on our front mat, and I'm just getting this lined up, and I'm kind of using the grid on my magnetic mat here. I'm just kind of getting it lined up. And I talked about in our post that I was going to do partial die cutting. And what that means is I don't want my window to be as long as this die. So I'm going to take my acrylic plate, and I'm only going to cover the area of the die that I want it to cut out. I'm trying to decide, is it there or is it there? Or is it there? I'm going to go kind of in between. I think that's about right. So you can see my acrylic plate. Let me push this up a little bit so you can see. My acrylic plate is on top, but it's not covering the bottom half of this die. So when I run it through the cut and emboss machine, it is only going to cut where the acrylic plate covers. So let's do that. Got limited space here, but I think I can make it work. All right, went all the way through. Let me take it off now. go. Sorry for the shaky. All right, now you can see, let's see if you can see this. It's only cut out where the acrylic plate was covering the top. So you're saying, Manny, what are you going to do about the bottom? Well, that's a good question. I'm going to turn this around. You wouldn't have to turn it around. It just was easier for me to see. And I'm using this grid here just to make sure my cardstock is straight. And now I am just going to fit this in so that the bottom is where it should be. You can see that it's shorter than the original die. And now I'm going to finish by doing partial die cutting on the bottom here. So let me get my acrylic plate lined up. I only want the bottom of this die to cut now, the straight part. And I'm going to roll that through. And if all is good with the world, the crafting world, that's all that needed to happen. Let me get this out of the way. Let's take a look and see if it worked. So there. So by using that partial die cut, I got a totally different size window that I needed to use for my card front. Right? And I can save this for a different project. Let me put this over here so I don't lose it. Using this exposed brick 3D embossing folder. Now, first, and then do your embossing, because if you wait and do the die cutting later, when you run it through the cut and emboss machine, then it's going to press out some of the embossing. All right, I'm going to bring this back over. And the sandwich for a 3D embossing folder is your planet. There we go. Sorry, guys. So hopefully I didn't lose. No, you weren't the only one frozen, Barbara. It says I have a slow connection, which is just so annoying. Half the reason why I'm up here at work is because we supposedly have a really good internet connection. But so all I did was, after I die cut that window out, I have now run it through the exposed brick 3D embossing folder, and hopefully you can see all the texture that's added. All right. Hopefully it doesn't do that again, but if it does, just be patient and due to this. So I looked at this this embossing folder, and you could use either side. This is the emboss side, and this is the deboss side. Oh my gosh, what happened? Give me a second. All right. For some reason, it flipped up, and we're looking at the ceiling, which was really interesting. Hang in there, guys. Hang in there. I know it's frustrating, very frustrating for me. All right. So I have taken a piece of that DSP from the Country Woods. I thought I had an extra scrap of it handy. Oh, yeah, here it is. It looks like this before I die cut it with those layering arches. And then here is the frame that I need. And now I am going to adhere it to my card front. And I was talking about, I used the deboss side this time because it looks like the bricks are kind of poking out from this side. And here they're going in. And I like that, this side better for this particular card. Ooh, Lord. Hey, Linda. And we're back. You know, I keep looking at software solutions for streaming, and why did I take that out of there? I just can't settle on one yet. Keep looking at them. So one of these days I'm going to find a piece of software that I like that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, that will help me stream and have a better, and have you guys have a better experience streaming. All right, so I just put a thin line of glue around the opening on my card front here, card mat. And now I'm just going to glue this into place, trying to keep it as straight as possible. And of course, don't want any of that inside part to show. Just have to finagle it into place. Finagle. Is that a real word or is that a made-up word? You guys know that words are hard when you get on camera, or for me at least. Which made me think of Leanne Taylor, because now I'm looking for my scissors. I've got more here somewhere. Because she's on the news, right? Everybody knows Leanne Taylor here, from around here. She actually went to ORU at the same time my wife and I did. She was in my wife's year. And why I thought of her, having said that words are hard when you're on camera, was because I saw her just the other day playing pickleball, the same pickleball place I was playing at. And she caught me looking at her, and she turned around and she just waved, smiled and waved. And I thought, oh, that's nice. Because, I mean, she doesn't remember me from ORU days. All right, so now I trimmed off that bottom piece, and I'm going to adhere that to the bottom. And then we've got a nice little wooden frame for our window. My wife tells a story about being in tennis class with Leanne Taylor. And Leanne hit the ball and hit Lori in the face with That's her Leanne Taylor story. All right, look at that. That's starting to be kind of cute. All right, now let's make sure this is just barely going to fit here. I must have made the window a little bit taller than normal. That's all right. We'll make it work. So I'm putting a little dot at the top and the bottom of this strip here. Oh, I put it on the wrong side. I'm kind of using my grid here to keep my to keep it straight. After I get this on, it looks like I'm going to have to secure it. Okay, so that's at the 8. So if I line this up at the 6, no longer straight, Manny. All right, I got it on there. And it's straight-ish. Yeah, it'll work. All right, now I've got another one that's going to go across this way. This one should work because the width didn't change. So I'm put a little dot here and a little dot here. Use my grid to make sure it's straight. And then here's about center. I want it just a little bit higher than center because I want to make sure I can fit my bear in that lower right pane. There we go. That's pretty good. So you're probably saying, that's a lot of fussy work, Manny. I don't know. Well, you're right. But that's what makes it special. That's what I tell myself. All right. I am going to do some stamping now. I've got this... Yeah, that would be true, Jill. If she heard me laugh, she would recognize me. Okay. Let me get my die out. I should have planned this better while my cut and emboss machine was there. So I'm going to not bring my cut and emboss machine over, but it's over there on the side here. I'm gonna run this through real quick. So hang on. Oh, here it is. Gotta get the right sandwich, and all my pieces are discombobulated. Hopefully it didn't move while I was... Oh, it sure did. Die cutting fail, look at that. It moved because I did not have it on the right side. So let me try it again. I recently went to a funeral viewing who's actually my brother's wife's brother passed away. And anyway, they had a large turnout for the viewing, and a lot of people from ORU that I hadn't seen in years. It's kind of fun to see everybody, even though it was a sad day. And I saw people there that I didn't realize knew each other. And I was like, how did you know this person? And why are you here? And all that. It really is a small world. And I guess if you grow up here and you don't move away, it is smaller. All right. Now, I want this little bear to be positioned right about like that on my card. And so I'm going to put some ink on the back of this, not ink, glue. I think right about here. And a little bit right here, just to hold him into place. Yeah. Oop, come on. Stay with me, bear. You know what? I forgot to color him. I did very minimal coloring anyway. It's an outline. So this bear is just going to be uncolored. I just, went along the lines with my crumb cake Stampin' Blends marker. But if I could find my card again, I would show, oh, here it is. It adds a little bit, but it's not terribly essential. Let me show you these two together. It's going to be fine without the coloring. That's what I'm telling myself. It's going to be fine. All right. Now, here are some strips. Now, I just cut these 3" by 1" strips from that Cute as a Bug DSP, and we're going to add curtains to our card now. And I'm going to do this side first. So I'm going to put a little glue here. Little glue here. Going to come on up here a little bit. Okay, let's do this one. I'm going to use my grid paper to make sure it's kind of straight. Decide how much of the curtain I want showing. Make sure my card is straight. And just lay it on top like that. And now we've got our right side curtain on. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Come on, glue. You can come out. Okay, I'm going to use my, see if I can have a little bit more glue coming out. Here we go. All right, I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Now on this side, I want less of it showing because we're going to create a ruffle in our curtain. All right, there's that. And then for our second layer of curtain, we're going to create what hopefully looks like a ruffle. I'm going to pop that up. So I'm going to use some 3 pop dots here. Not pop dots. Stampin' Dimensionals. Pop dots are another company's stuff. Susan Finn would get on to me for saying pop dots. All right. So we're going to do that there. And now there's some depth between these two layers, and it looks like it's a ruffle in the curtain. All right? All right. Now I've got a panel somewhere. Let me look in my box. Where are all my pieces? Where did they all go? Give me 1 second. I must have dumped them out and... Am I frozen again? No? Oh. I thought you wanted to see another shot of my ceiling. I was tapping on my phone to make sure I wasn't frozen, and it flipped the camera. So, all right. I need that. I need that. I need that. Where's the green piece that I needed? All right. I'm just going to cut another piece of mossy meadow because this is going to be our room wall. The wall behind the curtain. And let me grab my, oh, I found it. It was on my trimmer. All right, so this is 3x3 mossy meadow. And it's going to be the backing of behind the curtain to indicate the room that he's in, or she. And this side is popped up, so I need this side popped up. So I'm going to add some dimensionals here. Take those things off there. That's popped up. This needs to be popped up. And I'll take that off. And then here is our background. And all I need to do is make sure that I cover that rest of that opening of our window. All right. And now, look, it's starting to look like a cute little window that the bear is almost, the bear could almost be praying. Because the sentiment says thinking of you, and that's often what someone does when they're thinking of somebody. All right, now I'm just going to add some more dimensionals, and this whole panel gets popped up onto the front of our card. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue here. Bring our card base back over. Kind of get it lined up, but don't press down until you're happy with the placement. Okay. There we go. Did I not? Oh, I did not remove some of these. I was like, why is it not sticking? There, that's better. Look how cute that is. Isn't that cute? Cute, cute, cute. All right. Now, this becomes like a little outside window box. And I tried doing it because, you know, everything's popped up and then I'm popping up, and that makes it for a thick card. But I just think it looks better to be popped up than to be flat, even though my sentiment's going to be popped up. So I'm just going to go crazy with the dimensionals here. Hey, Teddy. Glad you could join us. Hey, Dina. All right. Yeah, you know, it's been freezing up and then unfreezing. So if it freezes up, guys, just wait a second and it will probably come back, hopefully. All right. So I am going to place this below my window, and I want some of that Country Woods DSP to show. So I'm just going to cover up a little sliver of the bottom here and kind of make this a window box. There we go. Almost done with this cute, cute card. Now remember, the whole point of this card is to show you how you can take a Valentine card, or not card, a Valentine based bundle, and still use it for, you know, just everyday card, or, you know, there's nothing about this that screams Valentine. That's what I liked about it. So you don't have to put your Valentine sets away immediately. All right, this is Thinking of You. And I will have to, because I don't think I still have that out somewhere. I will have to remember which stamp set I used for this, because I don't think I have it still out anywhere. I will post it when I post the card and everything, the winner. Now, I am going to fussy cut, so hold on, guys. Hold your breath. So I can barely talk when I do this. You wouldn't have to fussy cut if you're not a fan of fussy cutting. You don't have to do it, but I really do like the way it looks, especially with this scripty font. And it just shows more of the DSP that's on there. But it would look equally good probably on a sentiment strip. I just know several of my people don't like to fussy cut. And I don't like it if I'm in a hurry. But look at that. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? I like it. All right. So before we put on our sentiment, we're going to add a linen thread bow. So I need a glue dot. And I'm just going to use my scissors to grab this glue dot off, and I'm going to place it right about there onto my window box. And then I have tied my linen thread already using my little bow tire, and I did a triple bow. I tend to like the triple bows. And I am going to put this at an angle across my window box here. And I'm just going to move the hanging threads kind of out of the way so I have a spot to put my sentiment on. All right. So now I need some mini dimensionals. Get that out of the way. And I'm going to put some mini dimensionals on the back of my sentiment that I just fussy cut out at the beginning and at the end. And then I just hope to straddle the knot of my bow. Did I take everything off? Yeah, it looks like it. So I'm going to straddle that knot because I'm already dealing with a lot of dimension, because the front panel is popped up, the window box is popped up. We've got a lot of popping going on here. Now I can bring that thread back down a little bit. All right, that looks so good, straddling that triple bow there. Now the very last thing is using these holographic resin dots. We're going to just add 3 of those. And when I first, I looked at her card, and when I first realized she's using these green dots, I was like, what? Why? That's just strange. But then when you put it on, it brings that color from the the room behind the window there, it just ties it all together. And I was like, that's why she's an artisan. So I'm going to put one there. That is a large one. And then I'm going to put a, was that a large one? I don't know if that was a large one. That might have been a medium one. So we'll do it like that. There's a large one. And then we're going to do a small one up here. So in no time at all, we've really got a very well put together thinking of you card that you can send in the mail to let somebody you love know that you know they've been on your mind. And what a great way just to send out something in the mail to somebody. Everyday arches here. Then we trimmed them up, outlined that card, did some partial die cutting. We embossed this panel, got some DSP, a little bit of stamping. See, it doesn't even matter that I didn't color my bear. He still looks great. And only you and I know, right? Such a cute little card. So remember that if you've commented during tonight, your name will go into a drawing. If you've shared the video, then your name will go in twice. And I just want to say that I appreciate you guys being here. Even if it gets glitchy with the technology, even if I lose something and have to cut it again, it's always a great time. I always have a great time making cards. And eventually, it all comes together in a beautiful card that you can send out. Oh my gosh. I thought you wanted to look at the ceiling one more time. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. I will see you next time with another great card, I'm sure. And one of you will win it. So I'm going to clean up here a little bit. And I will do the drawing and post the card and all that. Again, thanks for being here. Bye.